pleasure to welcome you all to today's entrepreneurial talk series, My Stories Session 2025. We have gathered here to learn, engage, and be inspired by the remarkable journeys of entrepreneurial leaders who are shaping the future. Before we formally begin, I would like to take a moment to recognize TiE Kerala, a network that stands as a true beacon of innovation, collaboration, and entrepreneurship. TiE Kerala unites a distinguished community of entrepreneurs, corporate executives, and senior professionals who are driving impactful change across various industries. We are privileged to have them as a partner for today's event, and we know that their expertise will provide invaluable insights to all of us gathered here today. To formally begin today's proceedings, I now invite all the TiE members, faculty members, and students to this session. Now, we look forward to hearing from Mr. Thajudeen Aboobaker, founder of Urban Trash. Before that, I request Aisha Nida to share a brief introduction.
Good morning, all. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce today's distinguished speaker, a passionate change maker and a trailblazer in sustainable innovation. Mr. Thajudeen has over 7 years of hands-on experience in solid waste management and clean tech solutions. His journey began at the grassroots, coordinating impactful projects with Green Worms Waste Management and Mathrubhumi, where he led pioneering initiatives like Model Village Development and Circular Resource Management. He went on to found 3 sustainability-focused startups, Cleanlier, CleanCircle.earth, and most notably, Urban Trash, which has become a cutting-edge solution provider for business seeking advanced waste management services across Kerala and beyond. Under his leadership, Urban Trash is not just a company, it's a mission to drive zero waste practices, scale organic waste composting, implement smart recycling systems, and champion a circular economy that benefits both people and planet. Mr. Thajudeen is also an alumni of Sri Shankara College, Kaladi, with a BSc in zoology, and he has enhanced his expertise through certifications in municipal solid waste and project management from UC Urban and AWAC University. He has been a part of NSRCEL Circular Cohort at IIM Bangalore, a prestigious incubator program recognizing innovators in sustainability. From policy to planning, from local impact to scalable business models, his work reflects a rare blend of entrepreneurial spirit, environmental ethics, and practical innovation. So, today, get ready to gain insights from someone who truly understands the science, systems, and soul of waste management and business management. Please welcome Mr. Thajudeen Aboobaker.
Thanks, TiE and MIT School for inviting us. I'm Thajudeen Aboobaker, founder of Urban Trash. I'm residing at near Kakanad, Pallikara. I have been in this sector for the last nearly 10 years. You know that I'm in the sector of waste management. Maybe most of us won't like this sector because we are handling trash. You can see that as a student, before 9 years, I was looking for what would I have to become or what would be the sector I can go through. After my degree education, I was in BSc Zoology at Sri Shankara College, Kaladi. I was looking for various kinds of sectors and which sector I can contribute as or in my future. I look for water industry because a lot of areas that doesn't have required a better water, areas that doesn't have proper education. So I was looking for which sector I can go through because even if we are going for a job, we have to provide something better valuable, something better value addition to the society. So I was looking for various kinds of social sectors, as we said earlier, education, water, and the food security. So I realized that there is a huge gap between existing firms and the user requirements. I was residing near to Pallikara, that is near Brahmavaram plant. We all know that, right? Near to Smart City. So I went there. I realized that situation because as a Kochi, at least 10 years before, that was really growing at that moment, at that time. Each day, the Kochi area or the city area is growing. Urbanization is growing into the entire rural areas. So we have a huge requirement of proper trash management or waste management at that moment. And existing solutions are entirely pathetic because whenever I went there, dirt is everywhere and waste is just dumping somewhere else. Food waste is dumped with the dry waste, and entire areas interdegrading, and the total leachate. There is a water leachate is coming from waste dumping yards. The entire leachate is going through the Kadampraya river. That is one of the main water source in Kochi. So when I go through all those kind of struggles, issues there, I realized that we need a solution. So I looked everywhere, who is there, someone is doing, so I can learn that and I can do with him. So I meet a lot of people, a lot of scrap people, because that is one of the sector we can also be incorporated. We approach them, but no one is making us to get involved there. So I checked a lot of people. I visited a lot of people there at that time, 10 years before. After a long journey, I found someone whose name was Jabir Karat. He was from Kozhikode. They have a small company. The name was Greenworms. They just lived in a small room, a part of a library. I met him and discussed a lot. First time he said that this industry has a lot of struggles. People might be won't welcome you, or they will not encourages you to continue in the sector because you might have a lot of struggles there. Once I heard all the stories, I told that I need at least 1 week of time to think about all the kind of issues. I took the time. I come home. I discuss with my family, everyone, but no one has any kind of the positive to that decision. But I realized that this sector has a lot of possibilities. This is one of the main stage, or this is one of the main area I can contribute to my society. So I focused there. I called him. I'm 100% sure I can come to this sector. I will be joining your firm. He welcomed me. I joined there. For a while, we built a lot of works, and we approached with a lot of local people and the government sector. So I built a small sorting plant in Kozhikode. The Greenworms was in Kozhikode at that moment time. I meet a lot of common people. I realized that what are the issues in the common market. So the thing is that I realized that the issue is not like what we see. That is more in depth, and we figure out how to solve the issues there, how to figure out how to make the solutions out of these kinds of issues, and we educate people around us, discuss a lot of solution with them. A lot of time we are came to a room that is entirely trash, and we sorted from that area. The entire dress will become like nasty, and we cannot go to home at that with that kind of dress attire. So tried a lot, failed a lot. We find a solution several times, and if that solution might several times that become fail again. At last, we got a lot of customers, clients, and we got a great business there. Even when we go through in that manner, we realize that there is a lot of issues we have to solve, because the government has proposed a kind of solution like Harita Karma Sena, right? Most of the house might they will reach to your home and collect your trash from your home in several time period. Collect the trash from your home. Yeah. But there's a huge gap between the local customers and the existing system, because we have solutions there. We have a large waste treatment facilities there. We have large scale of processing centers there, and government has their own the funds to manage those waste. But the issues or the struggles that faced by the people are not ending, because there is a huge gap between the customers and the solutions. That's where we build the urban trash. Before that, there is lot of failure stories there, because urban trash is not my first startup. It's my sixth startup. Before that, I tried several times. That's the main story here. So after green worms, was mostly focused on the dry waste management. Like you can see that the plastics, papers, cloth items, those are included in dry waste. Yeah. Before that, I just give you basic intro of what is waste and what kind of values we can create. Yeah. What would be the main thing when you heard the name waste? What is that? Just a heap of waste, right? Yeah. Okay. Can you live one day without touching any kind of plastics as a say competition, or can you do that? I'll give you 5,000 rupees if you can, if you can live a day without touching plastics. Is that possible? Just try out that tomorrow morning. Wake up. What will you do first? Just throw the toppings, and we're going to the washroom, right? The washroom, the handle would be plastic mostly. Again, okay, we are doing that. That's entirely. What is that? It's a steel. You can think about it. It's a steel handle. Door might be plastic, right? Okay. Again, we're going to the toilet seat. Plastic. The flush tank, the buttons might be plastic. The flush might be plastic, right? After that, when come to the room, the dressing, most of the dress might have the portion of plastic maybe there. Polyester, right? It's a plastic. Innerwears, most of them are just like inner layer. We can see that plastic there. Again, we are doing specs or any kind of thing. We are doing brushing It's a plastic. Again, you can see the laptop or you are using mobile gadgets. Everything is covered by plastics. So in a day, we cannot think about a day without plastics, right? So that's one thing. What about paper? We cannot live without paper, right? And the cloth. So the reality is that these all kind of things are part of our life. We cannot live without these kind of things. So what is the solution there? Yeah, we can reduce the quantity of wastage, but we cannot live without that. So that is one of the reality here. After using these all the dry waste or various kinds of plastics and paper kind of thing, what would we do? Just throw it in a trash bin, right? What happened those waste? What happened there? Those trash bins go to somewhere else, like any kind of waste plants, mostly. Two options are there. One, we can throw into somewhere else in the backyard or anywhere. Can burn it. Yeah. The issue is that paper can burn, okay, plastic can be burned. Yeah. Let me ask you one question. From where paper create or from a trees? Yes. From where plastic creates? Can you say any plants or anything, or from where the plastic creates? Can you say? It creates from petroleum. Entire plastic is created by petroleum. Okay. Each plastic. And plastics has a quality of petroleum, like it can easily burn. Yeah. Whenever we burn plastics, what would you say? It's a string, right? That's the initial stage. But it got adequate heat, it is going to start the heat, the burn. We cannot stop that. It's entirely burned very well, better than paper. In several homes, each day they are starting the home start by burning plastics because it burns a long time, better than paper. So we know that petroleums contain a lot of various kinds of chemicals, right? The plastic also contain these kind of chemicals. When you burn, a lot of troubles you will create all around the world, around your home, anywhere. If you burn the plastics in your kitchen, what will happen? Entire home is filled with these kinds of gases, toxic gases, furan. So that makes various kinds of problems in your home itself, your children, you, your mother, your parents, anyone. Again, okay. So after plastic, if we burn all together in a dump yard, that become that becomes the starting of emitting a lot of toxic gas to all the area. Okay, we are not going to burn it. We can put in a dump and close the lid by some soil. Is that good? No. Plastic won't gonna dilute or dissolve in the matter, soil matter. Why? It's inorganic. That is not going to dissolve in the soil properly. It may be degrade. The two kind of degrade is there. One is biodegradable. Other one is just degrade into smaller things, smaller units. that become microplastics. It's again another issues make, right? Okay, we are not going to do that. Okay, we are better people. We are handing over this waste to some waste management companies. Okay, what they are going to do? Those waste reaches to the waste handling facility. Okay, once the waste is reaches the facility, what they do is that just open up the bag, put it into the sorting table. The dry waste, we can mainly sort it waste in two categories. One is dry waste, one is wet waste. Wet waste contain food trash, food things, and the peelings, and those kinds of things are we can consider as the wet waste. Dry waste, we can see paper, plastics, cloth, and ceramics, other kinds of the things that leather items, belt, everything we can consider as a dry waste. Okay, the dry waste, when we packed in a bag, there comes to the sorting table. They are going to sort the waste, because all these kind of material contain various kinds of items, right? Okay, let me ask you another question. When you going for a shopping in a mall or anywhere, most of the plastic, the dress are packed in some kind of bags, right? What is the quality of that bag? It's a transparent, right? Another thing is that there's a sound is there, right? When we rob that, it's kind of sound will. It's okay. There's another kind of bag, we can see that Milma cover, right? Or what is the quality of that bag? It has the same sound like no, because these two bags are different quality. Is that the same cover we can see in the shopping bag, the polythene bag, like 50 paisa cover, like I say na? No, that's another one. It's a HM cover. That's the difference is there, because that's the basic of segregation. In the total dry waste, we can consider as a plastic, paper, cloth, belt or like leather items there, bags are there, chappals are there, glass, and other kind of building waste is there, wooden waste is there, various categories there. So the segregation is the basic part of waste management. If you can sort the waste from your end, that will help them a lot. Yeah, again we can go through the segregation part. The plastics would again sorting into nearly 20 types. Mainly in plastic, two types are there. One is the hard plastics, one is the soft plastics. You can see the bucket, cups, there's two items there. Those are mostly hard plastics. Soft plastics are like the various kind of covers. In that covers, in that soft plastic, we can consider sorting into nearly 12 types easily. This is not based on color grid. It's a kind of entirely quality base. LD, HM, PVC, PP. So these are the basic of waste segregation. As we said earlier, we said that's a dump of waste. No, it's contain nearly 50 number of items. We can sort it out from the waste. This is the basic thing of waste management. So I realized that later, because when we think about just waste, these all are not just waste. We can make something valuable out of waste. Okay, the first question I wish to ask start, what is waste? Anything. What is waste? Leftovers, yeah. That's the right question, the right answer. Yeah. Anything? Great answer. Thing is that the waste is a philosophical word. Even if we are not finding a value in something, we can consider it's a waste, right? We can waste the time, right? We can waste the water, any kind of, even huge resources we can waste it, right? If someone can make out of the valuable thing, or we can consider, we can find out the value from those material, that become resource, right? That is one of the the main reason behind some people make the valuable like ornaments out of various trash, right? Once it become ornaments, we can easily wear those, right? The day before that, it might be reached to the dumping yards, right? So why it happened? Because someone create the value out of it. In based of time, anything, any resourceful items, we can make this kind of valuable out of it. So main thing is that who can make this kind of value upgradation from the no value material. That is one of the basic theorem behind waste management. That's why we reached in the sector. So I realized that there is a huge gap between food waste management, because in various apartment is there. How many of you people are residing in apartments, flats there? Yeah, and most of them might have issues like the people are, or the collection people are not taking food waste material on time, and some apartments does have there is a compost pit on the top of their apartment, right? But improper management, that makes huge issues on their top of their head, and a lot of various worms comes out of it, and those worms, what they come to the flats, each of their home. In various people have that kind of issues, they may not have it. So bulk waste management is the issues in a lot of people, on mainly in sector of organic waste management. So I built a new kind of composting bin that easily can be used for this kind of bulk waste generators. I built that. I took a lot of time for that. We know that chit fund, right? Chit fund. When I work within Greenworms, I became a part of chit fund, and I spent all the earnings into the chit fund. I got it at a time. Once I got it, I said to Jabber, actually I have an idea. I'm going to build that one. So I left the firm and let me build that firm. Yeah, he supported me. I took time for that to building, to making R&D activities there, and build Cleanlier. Cleanlier was a organic waste management composting facility that can easily placeable in apartments, and we can make valuable out of this kind of material. So initially I built that one from the scratch, but I didn't get any kind of consumers or customers at that moment. I lost a lot. So after that, I joined Madhurabhumi as a project head. During that period, I got a customer for the organic waste management facility. I sell to them. They run that successfully, but I can't grow that one because I joined another firm, right? So when I worked there, I realized that with just working, I can't do much to the audience or the customers or the society. I left Madhurabhumi after 1 year. Again, I built the Clean Circle. It's a technology-enabled waste management facility. It's entirely you built that one without any kind of investment. It's a bootstrap model. That became one of the tragedy at that moment. And there's several startups I built during that period. but that also has several kind of struggles at the moment. I lost a lot of fund. After that, I going to start the urban trash because the customers are the king. They required a lot of support for them. That's how we build urban trash. It's a kind of customer friendly waste aggregation startup. Apartments, establishments, and the business communities, they can approach to us. They can book the service. They can book the service. We will provide the waste collection service for them. It's a basically work based on subscription model. And urban trash reaches the customers very well. We made a lot of big impact to customers. We managed very well. From that moment, we create better value out of the waste. Right now, today, we are making dry waste. We are making valuable out of dry waste and food waste material. In the Infopa campus, you can see that Wipro campus does have nearly 25 acres of land, huge land there. And a lot of trees are there. They have a lot of garden waste are there. So they approached us how to treat these all kind of waste. So we visited there. We realized that a lot of food waste also there. When we mix those kind of thing and we adding adequate food waste composting microbes there, we can make composting things and we can make value out of it. So we approached this idea. They welcomed us. We provided the design. They built a facility for us, and we built in-house composting facility in Wipro campus. Daily, we are managing nearly 500 kg of waste. We are making great value compost, and we hand over those valuable out to the employees in the Wipro campus. So the reality is that if you can find out better solution out of waste, that becomes one of the solution for a lot of people, because we know that everyone, we are all the days we are getting nearly nasty things like in waste, right? If you have a great idea in waste management, we always willing to support you here, because even though there is huge gap between customers and the solutions there, we have solutions there already. We can have sorting there, we can make compost out of it, and we can make value out of all kind of trash, and that become one of the main solution for a lot of families, because whenever we can think about our facility there. So once you can build a solution for an issue that faced by the society, we can create better value for a lot of families there. That's the main thing we are offering right now. Today, the trash is one of the main issues we are all the people around us that facing. If can you create something value out of it? The other thing is that waste recycling is there. One is upcycling is there. Upcycling is the huge business there. If you can create value items out of waste, like you have a ton of paper, 10 kg of paper waste. If you can create something artistic material out of this kind of waste, you can sell those things nearly 100 times of the price than the paper material. But we have to consider providing your time, your effort, your artistic mind. That is also become a market capturing business area. Not just a paper, even we can create valuable items out of plastics, glass, wooden things, lot of things. Okay. Now I'll give you a great idea about total waste management. This waste management thing is comprises of nearly 100 types of areas. Plastics one of the area. Another one is paper, wooden waste, chemical waste is there, and the building waste is there. Electronic waste is another area that can be nearly sorted into nearly 5 to 6 items, 10 areas. Another one is the garden waste. We can create valuable material out of it. And waste to water is there. Human waste, like the human excreta is become waste, right? That we can make valuable out of it. Scrap thing, that's another very large, huge area. Huge crores and crores are making from that sector. Scrap thing is another area. We can make the valuable out of the cloth waste. Chappal, the sole, all of those things we can create from the chappal waste. Leather waste is another sector. Hair waste is another sector. Make valuable out of the hair waste materials there. And another thing is that the bones, we can see the meat market, right? That create a lot of bone. That is another kind of resource we can create valuable out of it. So all these, like another said, already said that the building waste material already said that, and all these areas make nearly millions of job offering from the region that make valuable out of it, and again it solves the main concern, main issues that faced by society. In another manner, is issue you are facing into huge possibilities to the society. We can see that unemployment is everywhere, right? Youth is not getting much better jobs they wish. But if you can create solution out of it, you can provide job for nearly millions of people. But you have to think about it. You have to figure out what's the idea you can focus there. I will suggest you some of the startups that work behind. All you people must have heard about the Acri, right? How many of you heard about Acri? Yes, I can see some of the. What they do is that mainly they are focused on scrap waste management. Earlier they were focused on scrap waste management. They were built an app for scrap collection in a proper manner, because scrap collection things already saturated in the market, right? But a professional scrap market is not there. So Acri has done that very well. The customers can book the service through the app. They will reach to your facility, your home, come and pick up the waste. And there is a super senior you have. They built a company. It's a carbon and weight. How many heard about that? Yes. We talked him during the way. He's the alumni of Amity, and he built carbon and weight. He built that furniture. He built the furniture with recycled plastics. That became one of the remarkable idea in the Kochi city. And their idea is not just selling the furniture. They build those areas become as a ad tech. They are selling ads as a providing for the various business establishment that can showcase in the most like the metros and Lulu, like hyper market areas there. So another kind of idea. Another one is green worms. They are doing waste management out of the normal corporation areas. Another one is a scrap wala, or the scrap daddy, scrap uncle, various kind of things. They are work with local scrap collection agents. They are making aggregation facility for that. Another startup is that recycle. Recycle is that they are making a huge marketplace for waste. So the recycle aggregation. They are making a connection loop between the scrap generators and the recyclers. They can sell the material It's like India Mart or OLX kind of thing. So another one, Bunny Nation. Bunny Nation is doing that. The waste material, once they collect the waste material, so the valuable things, they'll properly segregate into best material and they'll crush and recycle those material, and they can easily again use to the packaging material. So I just figure out various kinds of startup before you, because your idea can make bigger changes. The main thing is that you have to think about that. Right now, there is a huge gap between customers and the solutions. You can make great solution once we can deeply dig into that, but you have to dig that hole entirely. Dear people around me, look again and again and focus on that region. You can find out a better solution for you. With my story, I always works to make something great, valuable out of you, for to think about more solution for you. That become one of you can become a millionaire or a billionaire, anyone, and that become one of the main reason to the main resource for a lot of huge families, there. So any questions are that we can discuss about that? Yeah. Based on the collection requirement, like some people, they have lot of waste, but they just only one time pickup is in a month required. Some people does have lot of waste, but they are required all day. We have to collect every day. So two things are we will looking: how many waste you have, how many time we have to collect from your doorsteps, the collection interval. Based on these things, we are making a subscription plan for you. You can book the service based on that. We will make a schedule to pick up waste from your side, and we make the route plans out of that. We make the schedule and we pick up from your doorsteps. Once we pick the waste, we are reached to the facility and we segregate those waste material and we sell to recyclers. There's two kind of revenue sources are there. One, we getting from the customers as the subscription fees or the service fees. The second one is we are getting is that we are selling these valuable out of it to the recyclers as a raw material. So we are building these things entirely based on two kind of revenue resources.
You're not dealing with food waste.
Yeah. Once we get the food waste, we are sending to the facility. We are making compost out of it, and we are selling for it.
You are doing it or?
Yeah. With the vendor, we are doing that. Composting things. The compost we can sell it to the farmers. The bulk we are selling to bulk. They can make value out of it.
How many employees?
Nearly 32. And 32 families are work with us. You pick the service and you bag the waste, nearly plastics, papers, and food waste into that. That become nearly nasty. And when the waste reaches the facility, that become again, what is it, really nasty for it, because at least 2-3 days might take for that, and that become one of the main issue, because getting a lot of insects there. So, and we can see that the people like us are doing segregation, but once mix the waste into entire thing, that become really nasty for them, and that is difficult to them. That make it difficult for the segregation activity. And other thing is that once these waste comes into the this kind of waste, that become impurities in it. And when we sell the material, that become that reduces the price of the material when we sell the material. So that make a lot of struggle for us. Another thing is that as a startup, when we get orders from various locations, like Once we got an order from the Panambili Nagar, and once we got an order from the Parur region. Another we got the order from the Piravum side, secondarily various areas. Another one is we are going to the Muatura side. This is entirely various areas. So we can make the schedules based on that. But whenever we prepare this route thing, that become a lot of struggles because that is not viable. The business viability is one of the main thing when we think about the business planning. So if we're getting a lot of orders, we can make various routing for that. But whenever we get less orders, that to routing everything into one route will become really not unviable, not viable. The next one is some if you don't have that kind of toll kind of we don't have, but we have to consider about that. And once it reaches the facility, there is a cost for unloading cost is there, and sorting cost is there. We have to figure out how to the facility running. The facility run is there. The staff residing cost because we required staff quarters to stay there. So there is another cost is there. And in facility we have to sort we required sorting tables kind of thing. So after sorting this material, we have to keep it somewhere else. That is required another source. We have to figure out the baling machine. We have to record the baling machine facility, the couriers, and the keeping this loading and unloading process there. The staff, human resource cost is there. And after somewhere else, we have to sell out this material. So we have to load into a large vehicle. There's another cost is there. And to run the facility, we required the machines thing. We required the electricity cost is there. So you have to figure out only once you dig into the area because huge number of expenses are coming to your mind. Because whenever we talk with customers, we have two kind of revenues. One is from you, one is from your when we sell the material. Oh, you're getting a lot of funds here, right? No, we have a lot of expenses of that. So we have to match it in two sides, expenses and the revenue side. So if we have an adequate number of orders there, we will get revenue increase, and that much on the expenses will increase. That would be the profit stage. But even if we don't have adequate orders, the expenses keeping the same, that become the loss. So every time we are always trying to increase the number of orders, so that become the possibility to become profit or in the much scale. Right now we are into earlier we haven't done any kind of marketing because we are getting a lot of referrals there. But as a bootstrapping, marketing things might be struggling because funding for various kinds of things might not work. Earlier we focused only on just referral models. Right now we are into the field sales, approaching apartments, business establishments and various kinds of things, and provide some these are the things we are doing, and if you have requirement we can do that. That's how we approach customers. We are mainly focusing on right now in the Kakinadu, Kalamasheri, Tripunithura, Marat region. That's the region we're mainly focusing on because corporation areas, government is doing that kind of corporation based waste collection agencies there. So we are mainly focusing on municipalities, Panchayat region right now. And the thing is that we are building an app for customers because earlier when we discussed the customer acquisition, most of them are not willing to download an app and keeping the app. So we build that as a kind of customer onboarding WhatsApp number. It's an easy chatbot. They can easily chat with them and book the service. So customer acquisition is very easy with WhatsApp. But customer retention is not that much easy with WhatsApp. There is the need of app. So we are building app for that. And we building entire structure like entire SOP for the activity from the collection side to the disposal side. We are making huge structured service operation protocol. So that is really required for each business. That is not much easy for that, because some stages each customers have to manage by the manually. So that is different in various sectors. So standardizing everything into a structure is difficult, but that we have to go further. Then only we can build that one. So we're building right now, and we're going to expand our service into a franchise model into various regions out of in Kerala and out of it.
We create more awareness on better civic sense and waste management within our society, because I don't think we're doing very well when it comes to managing our wastes. If you look around, people are just throwing
Yeah.
their things around.
Yes.
So
One is system and one is awareness. Earlier, government has done a mistake. That is, government is doing a lot of fund for awareness activities only. How to segregate the waste, how to provide to the waste management teams, other, and they were not giving the awareness to the waste management people. So what customers seeing that they will segregate the material into properly plastics and paper and food waste separately, and handing over to the corporation people. What they do is that they mix everything into single bucket, because it's going to dumping, right? So what's the customers become say disrespectful, because they've done a lot of job that how to properly segregate the material into various sort of thing, and they're seeing that mixed everything by the waste collection agencies. After government realized that that's not going to have proper manner, they take it seriously. They're going to segregate the thing. But the thing is that this is a fast moving world, right? Everyone is like busy. We need to have better solutions, better awareness. We need solution. Like, the thing is that whenever we not segregate the material from your side, that become the nuisance for a lot of people. If you could segregate those material into properly, not into the paper plastic thing, so entirely dry waste out of food waste. If you eat something, you keep all the food waste into a bin, then only you have to keep the dry waste into bag. Not keep food waste and dry waste into same bag. That become the nuisance. So effective ICE like activities, they are required to aware people around us. That really we are required to have nearly tens of lakhs of investment for that only, and the involvement of NSS and various kinds of organizations, and that really required in this situation. Because if you can keep the waste entirely out of food waste, we can make valuable with food waste and with the dry waste. If we mix both, we can't use anything out of it. That becomes entirely nuisance. That should be the main learning after the session. That creates a lot of like the job and security for a lot of people. Even if you do not doing that, that become again huge dumping.
So then, why do you think that there are many other countries who are doing better when it comes to segregation and waste management? If you're comparing our India's situation with a different countries, let's say Germany's situation, they are.
Yes,
So
that's
why
things that yeah.
why are we so progressing so much slower than the other countries? Why do you think so? Is it the funding or there are
No,
other factors?
not just funding there. It's like culture. What we do is that we are doing by what other do. Say we are seeing that person not doing that thing. Why should I do? Why I can only make something huge value upgradation in society, and all other people are not doing that. So that become wastage, right? Because if I am trying to push my entire effort to make our society better, and if others are not doing that, I am become a say foolish, right? So that is the mindset is coming, but that is how everyone is thinking. That is one of the main reason behind that. But government is doing better activities right now and doing various kinds of awareness right now. The societies may become big, great into the great culture, but that takes a lot of time. Other thing is that the density is there. Most of the dense areas, we couldn't have seen that kind of better solution there. Government or startup company firms have to do this kind of system upgradation and also doing the awareness. Two things are required there, because in one side we are not providing any kind of betterment or any kind of upgradation in the system, and we are encouraging people to do this kind of thing, and again it becomes to the dumping yard. That makes no sense. If can become system is upgraded and the awareness is going to happen, that becomes better solution. And in one side system is upgraded, people are not aware about that becomes again the nuisance. So two stages are there, both have to be grown at a time, then only we can consider this as a better solution. So I see over the people awareness and system upgradation is both required. That is the space of startups. If you can have a number of startups that really works in competition, they will make the market captured. Then people be really aware about that, and that becomes one of the base solution for that. That's why I said that there is a huge gap for a lot of startup in the sector. Even if say in Kochi only, there is a gap of nearly 30 number of waste management startup at this time. At least 30. Everyone can tap the market of 1 crore in a month. I can assure that. If you have that kind of funding there, we can easily approach that kind of market, the revenue at this moment.
You mean 1 crore
Turnover in a month. That is a possibility is there. If you can do that scale, you can build that revenue. And greenworms, right? Greenworms really making in a year, only greenworms making nearly 70 crores of revenue in a year. But in Kochi only they are doing this only nearly 5 to 10%. So there is a 90% of gap is there, right? So that much of opportunity is there. The waste management market is huge. Scrap sector. Scrap in Kerala only nearly in a year, Kerala only generate nearly 1,000 crores of revenue in scrap market. Underdeveloped or developing nation has the most possibilities there. Even we are going to build something, start a company in America or Europe, we doesn't get, or in Dubai or in the area, we might not get that much of market because there's already established markets there. Already saturated, yes. But here, huge gap is there. We can say plant, we can thrive, we can expand all over the region, because that is a huge gap is there. We have to find out the gap, have to build that one, we can have to expand that. Yeah.
Because waste management ഒക്കെ ആവുമ്പോൾ പ്രോബബ്ലി ആൾക്കാർക്ക് വരാൻ ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടാവും.
Yes.
അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ എന്തൊക്കെ ചാലഞ്ചസ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ആൻഡ് ഹൗ ഡിഡ് യു ഓവർകം? പിന്നെ ഉള്ളത് അബൌട്ട് യുവർ സപ്പോർട്ട് സിസ്റ്റം. ബിക്കോസ് എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ വെൻ മൈ ഫാമിലി ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ someone from my family is എന്താ വേസ്റ്റ് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ഒരു ജോലി വിട്ടിട്ട് വേസ്റ്റ് മാനേജ്മെന്റിലോട്ട് ഇറങ്ങുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് പ്രോബബ്ലി ഫാമിലിയിലുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ എങ്ങനെ റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യും എന്നുള്ളതൊരു പോസിബിലിറ്റി ആണല്ലോ. അപ്പം ഹൗ ഡിഡ് യുവർ ഫാമിലി റിയാക്ട് ടു ഇറ്റ്?
ആക്ച്വലി ഞാൻ ഈ ഫീൽഡിൽ കടന്നു വന്നപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഫാമിലി, ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, സപ്പോർട്ട് സിസ്റ്റം എൻറ്റയർലി എന്ത് ചെയ്തു, ഒപ്പോസ് ചെയ്തു. ഒരാളും കൂടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. കാരണം വെച്ചാൽ ഇത് പറയുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ്, ഒരു വിവാഹം എങ്ങനെ അന്വേഷിക്കും? ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ ക്വസ്റ്റൻ ആണ്, ലൈക്ക് പലരും ക്വസ്റ്റൻസ് ആണല്ലോ. എങ്ങനെ അന്വേഷിക്കും? ഒരു റവന്യൂ എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടാക്കും? ഇതൊരു നാസ്റ്റി ജോബ് അല്ലേ? എങ്ങനെയാണ് പറയും? മെയിൻ ഇഷ്യൂ ആണ്. ഫാമിലി ഇഷ്യൂസാൽ ഒരാൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിച്ചാൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ എങ്ങനെ ഈ ഫീൽഡാണെന്ന് പറയും. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൺ ഓഫ് മെയിൻ ഇഷ്യൂ. റവന്യൂ ഒക്കെ അടുത്ത ഓപ്ഷനാണ്. ഒരു വിവാഹം അന്വേഷിക്കാൻ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു 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 ഏരിയയിൽ പറയും. ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടായത്. സോ ഐ ക്യാൻ അഷ്വർ ദാറ്റ് നിയർലി 70% ഫാമിലി എന്ത് ചെയ്യില്ല, ഈ വിഷയത്തിൽ ഒരിക്കലും സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യണമെന്നില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും ഈ വിഷയത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡിസിഷൻ ഡ്രൈവ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണം. അതാവണം ഇവിടെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണത്? വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മെയിൻ റീസൺ നിൽക്കുന്നത്. കൺവിൻസ്ഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ 3 years ഓൺലി. ഈ ഫീൽഡുകൾ ആക്ച്വലി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ഔട്ട് ശേഷമല്ല, ഈ ഫീൽഡ് വർക്കിന് ശേഷം ഒരു 3 years കഴിയുമ്പോഴാണ് ഇത് ആക്ച്വലി കൺവിൻസ്ഡ് ആയത്. അപ്പോഴും സൊസൈറ്റി ബാക്കിയുള്ള ആളുകൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്താൽ ഓക്കെ ആയിരുന്നില്ല. ഈ റെക്കഗ്നിഷൻ ഒക്കെ വന്നതിന് ശേഷം എന്ത് ചെയ്തത്? കൂടുതൽ ആളുകൾ ഈ വിഷയത്തിലേക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൺവിൻസ്ഡ് ആയത്. സോ വിഷൻസ് ആൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ വേറൊരാൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തേക്കാം, പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ ഫാമിലി ആൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണില്ല, സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യണം നിർബന്ധമില്ല. സോ ബട്ട് എൻ്റയർലി യുവർ ഡിസിഷൻ, നമ്മുടെ ഡിസിഷൻ, നമ്മുടേതായ തീരുമാനങ്ങളുമാണ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? ഈ വിഷയത്തിൽ മുമ്പോട്ട് നിൽക്കേണ്ടത്. പിന്നെ അടുത്ത ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഫേസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ ഫീൽഡിൽ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ വളരെയധികം ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. സ്മെല്ല് സഹിക്കേണ്ടി വരും, ഭയങ്കര സഹിക്കേണ്ടി വരും. പക്ഷെ പിന്നെ അത് യൂസ് ടു ആവും. ഈ സ്മെല്ലൊന്നും നിൽക്കുന്ന പ്രശ്നമായി വരില്ല. ഇനീഷ്യൽ സെക്ടറിൽ പലപ്പോഴും ഇത്ര വലിപ്പമുള്ള വേസ്റ്റ് ബിന്നിൽ ഇറങ്ങി നിന്ന് മേലാകെ സ്മെല്ലായിട്ട് തിരിച്ചു കയറുന്ന അവസ്ഥയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ റൂമിലേക്ക് ചെല്ലാൻ പറ്റില്ല. തിരിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഒപ്പം വേസ്റ്റ് മാനേജ് കമ്പനി വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ അവിടെയുള്ള സ്റ്റാഫിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോലും എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല, റൂമിൽ ചെല്ലാൻ പറ്റില്ല. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ്? അവർക്ക് സ്മെല്ല് സഹിക്കുന്നില്ല. ബസ്സിൽ കയറാൻ പറ്റില്ല, കാരണം ബസ്സിൽ ബാക്കിയുള്ള ആൾക്കാരുണ്ടല്ലോ. അതെ, പക്ഷെ നമുക്ക് പ്ലാനിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കുറേ ചെയ്യും നമുക്കുള്ളത് വെച്ചാൽ മെയിൻലി ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് സ്റ്റാഫുകൾ ഉണ്ടാവുക. പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടുതൽ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ അസാം ഉണ്ട്, ആസാം, പിന്നെ വെസ്റ്റ് ബംഗാൾ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെയൊക്കെ വെച്ച് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അവർക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്ഡ് ആണ് ഈ ഫീൽഡിൽ ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ അവരുണ്ട്, സ്റ്റാഫുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ കളക്ഷൻ സ്റ്റാഫ് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി മലയാളീസ് ആണ്. പ്ലാനിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് മലയാളീസ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് ടേക്ക് ടൈം. ഗ്രാജുവലാണ് ഈ ചേഞ്ച് കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ പറ്റുക.
പിന്നെ സ്മെല്ലിന്റെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, നമ്മളിപ്പം കോവിഡ് ടൈമിലൊക്കെ PPE കിറ്റ് കണ്ട പോലെ ഈ സ്മെല്ലിനെ ടോളറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് സ്റ്റാഫ്സിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും PPE കിറ്റ് പോലത്തെ എന്തെങ്കിലും?
അത് ആക്ച്വലി മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് മാത്രമാണ് PPE ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. നമ്മുടെ എൻ്റയർലി ആ സ്മെല്ല് വരുമ്പോൾ ആക്ച്വലി നമുക്ക് അതിനോട് ഓക്കെ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അത് മാത്രം ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ കഴിയുള്ളൂ. കാരണം അതിൽ പ്ലാനിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഒരു പരിധി കൂടുതൽ ഇവരെ പ്രഷർ ചെയ്താൽ പോലും ഇവരെന്ത് ചെയ്യില്ല, ചില ആളുകൾ PPE ഉപയോഗിക്കില്ല. നമ്മളൊരു പുഷ് ചെയ്ത് ഇന്ന് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് മാത്രം ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞാൽ പോലും എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, നമ്മൾ മാറിക്കാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, PPE മാറിക്കളയും. കാരണം അവർ യൂസ് ടു ആയതിനോട്, അവർ ബോഡി എന്ത് ചെയ്തു അതിനോട് അഡോപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അത്ര ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ രോഗങ്ങൾ വരാറില്ല. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റയർലി അവരോട് യൂസ് ടു ആയി. പക്ഷെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, എൻ്റയർലി PPE ഈസ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് എവരിവർ. ഈ ഫീൽഡ് കുറച്ച് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത് പതിയെ ഈ സ്മെല്ലൊക്കെ അതിനോട് യൂസ് ആവും, പ്രശ്നങ്ങളൊക്കെ പതിയെ മാറും. നമുക്ക് പിന്നെ ആ സ്മെല്ലൊന്നും ഫീൽ ചെയ്യില്ല. എനിക്ക് ആക്ച്വലി ഇത്രയും ആളെ കണ്ടു ഞാൻ ഒട്ടും ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാറില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഇന്നുൾപ്പെടെ രാവിലെ ഒരു പുതിയ സ്റ്റാഫ് വന്നപ്പോൾ നിൽക്കാൻ പറ്റാതെ പോയിട്ടുള്ള അവസ്ഥ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സോ ദാറ്റ്സ് ഹാപ്പനിങ്. രണ്ട് രീതിയിലുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, ഒന്നുകിൽ നമ്മൾ വേസ്റ്റ് കളക്ഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എൻറ്റയർലി ഫ്രം പഞ്ചായത്ത് കളക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക്സ് മാത്രം പ്രത്യേകമായി എടുക്കുന്നത്. അവിടെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണമെന്നില്ല, നമ്മുടെ വേസ്റ്റ് കാര്യമായ ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നില്ല, പക്ക നല്ല പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക് മാത്രമേ ഉണ്ടാവുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, എല്ലാതരം വേസ്റ്റ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. So that becomes difficult than other thing. Yeah, yes. Mike.
What are the permissions required to start this?
Yeah. One is from local government. Panchayat municipality like ആണെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതെങ്കിൽ we are required to have the permission from the local body, LSD license of that. The main thing is that the municipal the pollution control board, PCB. We are required to have the adequate distance from the nearest home and proper water management, everything over there. So that is a pollution control license. These are the main two things are required for starting this business. That's the one is PPEs. That's the main thing we can provide, and the fire safety things. Because glass is there, so there is a opportunity. There is a possibility to get fired because we are using a minimal type of machinery is there. So even there's kind of the power issues there, that becomes the reason of fire thing. So we have to be a proper fire safety is required. So many things we are providing, and the PF and ESA kind of thing are providing there. That's also there. And some kind of food composting facility there. We are providing the mask, the glass mask are there, and their PP is there, so they will not get affected by this kind of facilities. Yeah.
So for the total accumulated waste, how do you actually measure that? And if it's exceeding a certain point, what will you do to take care of it? Because if it's exceeding a point, then that means that you have to employ more people and take care of it. So what do you exactly do to
For when we thinking about a segregation activity, the sorting facility people does have a doing, they can do it easily by 200 kg per day. This segregation activity, and we have a limit of we have limit of how much we can bailed, how much we can loading, how much we can pack in a day. So we make decision based on the quantity of waste. So when we see a dumping of waste, we can see how much load, how much people, staff required to keep the material, take the material out of the waste area and to bring to the facility. So we can have a kind of adequate the measurement there. So we deploy the staff members for that. That's entirely based on the weight of the waste and the volume of the waste and the mixing type of waste. The plastic and waste things might be degraded once we dump out of area, like the sunlight and water things may degrade the plastics. That reduces the quality of the waste. So that is really difficult to pick and to the bring the facility. So based on that, we are deploying staff person adequately, because if that is not much degraded, we can easily pack. But that waste is become degraded, we required the double number of staff to pack the material, bring the material to the facility. Yeah, based on that.
On behalf of Amity Global Business School Kochi, I extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Thajudeen Aboobaker for this insightful session. Actually, it was not just demonstrating his entrepreneurial journey. It was a reflection of how he converted his business idea into a successful business model. How you can create a crores of rupees turnover business from trash or waste. My dear students, you have a subject called entrepreneurship in your syllabus, right? See, rather than learning a textbook, an interaction with an entrepreneur, I must say successful entrepreneur like him will give you more lessons, right? That is the reason why we are bringing entrepreneurs here, and today's session was such kind of a session where he highlighted how an idea can be converted into a successful model. It is not an easy journey, right? He mentioned about the need for networking, how to manage resource, and it's all about his passion, resilience, right? And he managed many struggles in between. So you have to interact with entrepreneurs like him. And I must thank TiE Kerala, especially Nikhil, for helping us to arrange such kind of sessions for our students. And also I thank our student coordinators and all my dear students for your active participation. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.